Good afternoon, my lovelies, and welcome to a very bright, a very sunny, slightly nippy, slightly breezy Wednesday afternoon. I hope you're all well. Well, what a beautiful afternoon it's turned out to be. It's quite pleasant. So, today, as promised, I thought we would have a look at things that are associated with witches, and today we're going to have a look at cats, and black cats in particular. And my new friend isn't here today. All sad times. Anyway, let's find my notes. So, why are cats, and particularly black cats, associated with witches? Right, well, cast your minds back, way back in time. Cats were always worshipped. The ancient Egyptians worshipped them because they thought they were lucky and they were, you know, good to have around the house. Freya, the Viking goddess of war, she had a chariot, and that was pulled by 3 magical cats. And Viking brides on their wedding day were given cats. 1, because they were lucky, and 2, because it kept the rat and the mice population down. So there you go. Let's fast forward to the Middle Ages. Bear with while I get my notes out. I had to do this at work today. So, during the middle of the 14th century, black cats became linked with the devil. For some reason, black cats were instantly disliked. Nobody wanted them, nobody liked them, nobody trusted them. Whether this was because of the colour that they were, black, because as you know, the church didn't approve of anything black. Black dresses, black boots, black cloaks. If it was black, it was associated with the devil. So the poor cats got lumped into this. Or maybe because cats, being cats, tend to be very nocturnal, and they stalk about in the night and they hunt in the night. And maybe the villagers were frightened of what was going on in the woods of a night with the noises and stuff, and maybe they thought that these cats were mixing with the evil, mixing with the devil. You don't know, do you? Most homes at some point had a cat in the Middle Ages, and this was to keep the rat and the mice population down because it was quite prolific. But then the witch trials started, and since witches were one with nature because they used the herbs and the plants for healing and medicinal properties, it was common for them to keep a cat like the other villagers, and they became their companion and their friend. Bear with, there's somebody coming. The Celts also believed that humans from a former life who had passed over would come back as a cat, because maybe in their past life they did some dreadful things, so as punishment they would come back as a cat. In later times, during the witch trials, it was believed that witches transform themselves into cats. And and there were stories told amongst the villages that, I don't know, Bert from the village saw Mabel the old witch transform into a cat one night into the woods. They also believed that cats could come into people's homes as a cat, transform into a human to hurt people in their homes. And because of this, cats were associated with witches, who then became their familiars, who then became associated with the witches. So yeah, so through no fault of their own, through being accepted as magical, lucky, and worshipped by many people, they became, what's the word I'm looking for? They became shunned, that's the word. They became shunned. Nobody wanted a black cat because they were convinced that black cats were evil. And in fast forward, just a bit of information, when the plague hit, lots and lots of black cats were destroyed because they thought that cats had brought the plague in with them, but they hadn't. It was brought in by the fleas from on the rats. That's where the plague came from. But because all these black cats and maybe other cats were destroyed, the rats were just prolific, and this is why the plague spread so quickly, because there was nothing to kill the rats. So these poor cats, who all they ever wanted was a bit of love and a bit of fuss and a bit of food, were shunned and were treated so badly because people thought they were evil, they were unlucky, and they were associated with witches. And if you had a black cat, that cat could transform into a human, or the witch could become the cat. It's quite a sad story, to be honest with you. Because the cats didn't ask for it, and to be quite honest with you, most cats are quite sweet, aren't they? You know, I mean, like you saw yesterday with my little friend Doodle the bus stop cat. He was a lovely little cat, he was so friendly, but, and it still goes on today, most people don't like cats, most people think cats are evil. You know, they chase the birds in the garden and they kill the birds, but that's what cats do, they hunt. And most people won't have a cat in their home because they think they're evil, and they're not. So that is the reason why black cats are associated with witches. But I personally think we should big up the cat, because there's nothing wrong with a friendly cat who just wants a little bit of love and a bit of fuss and some food and somewhere warm to snuggle down to. So I hope you all had a wonderful Wednesday in this beautiful sunshine. It's quite warm for an October, end of October. Do look after yourselves, lovelies, and remember, if you're struggling, please reach out, because there's always somebody there that will help you. Please be kind to one another, and if nothing else in this world, lovelies, look after one another, because you don't know what's going on with the other person who stood next to you. And just from me, because Woo's at home with her dad, I'm sending you all much love and many blessings.